kutomal mu meto Supersonics le itadulate anada di masanji jama Gambia banko kam ise kodo tanole ibe dawo da birin katon fokoina andum batatije hade batatije ise kodo tanole ka bonam bantala bankol to birin UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland anin banku tumal mu beto na doku sone yata atariyata akoita andum allan yata Gambia banko kan Supersonics le dinkiral siyata katambinin tumal mu meti Supersonics be banku tan sabani nani la to fota findu bankol to dung ila Google Play Store to wala ila Apple app sign ye Supersonics la money transfer app o download pour que ifa munafang na service la
African Oriental Store Africa fi ci biir America ñu ngi leen fi amal seasoning ak lépp loo leen nam biir Gambia diwtiir ak bagage ndekki yi ngeen soxla can beef African Oriental Store andil na leen ko ci seen heavy boti ba tey it amal nañ leen netetu gerte noflaay yéet ndawal African Oriental Store nag mooy bitik bi nga xam ne lépp loo leen soxla mi ngi ci biir amal nañ leen maalo leket tame inde addi cuuraay waaye it fàttewuñ suñ góor yi nga xam ne ni den tele seen néegi sëy yi African Oriental Store indi na leen garab goo xam ne ni dina leen delloo seen kàttan ba tey it ñu ngi leen amal abaya dàll abaya boo munti xalaat bu jigéen ñu ngi ko fi am waaye it fàttewuñ góor ñi amal nañ leen xaftaan ñi amal nañ toobaan cuuraay African Oriental Store nag bagage yi nii fépp foo nekk ci biir Canada bi ak US di nga ko mun a am ndaxte ñu ngi leen amal shipping African Oriental Store Africa ci America fii ci Everett Washington njaaxare jeex na
kuron laajte faale ngoyangi
hey ala bolo on ko dunia be entala kan raymol cutting hit traction bondin ke sakin daga grino ma fonka hey ngoy njibe Gambian Talent TV la bata dunia baby man nega ngoy mafu ko Gambia da ma nega bari dunia yaw men al mube ba Gambian Talent TV la jibe kan ala bolo Mr Dunia be atole ala nyade do bir kamala bandio
nega gesen yang ngonde mamoy ngodoy julolo fennega gesen yang ngonde mamoy fonde ma foy dindin faloli mindi bali dun ni sanyoti lole boyda dindin ifulanti yang Gambia Talent Promotional fulanti yang itole be jambe nyaato Gambia Talent Promotion mun tolle tati alingi makoy e ka Gambia la londole pous nyaato niamo e Gambia Talent Promotion wala mandi ka kamala ka Gambia la londo sama ñaato ay wule ye wala déglu leen ko Gambian Talent amul morom dina la bégal waaw déglu leen ko Gambia la kanole dun sayna ñola kon yalla dalo dun tana Gambian Talents alla kano yenyala mandi apachaki alla boylo nyancho Jollof Arts
Gambian Talents TV nyunule la dokuo seneyata Gambia Talents TV nyunule la dokuo betiyata Gambia
hey ala bolo on ko dunia be entala kan raymol cutting hit traction bondin ke sakin daga grino ma fonka hey ngoy njibe Gambian Talent TV la bata dunia baby man nega ngoy mafu ko Gambia da ma nega bari dunia yaw men al mube ba Gambian Talent TV la jibe kan ala bolo Mr Dunia be atole ala nyade do bir kamala bandio yo
98. All right. Assalamu alaikum to you all. I hope you're all doing fine. This is the Gambian Talents TV, live and direct here in our office at the Red Cross. You can just check if you will hear the audio from me. I said, Koli, come and confirm. So today our class, we will be talking about different things. Today's class, we were talking about how one should build themselves, especially journalists, how you should build contacts, how you should build networks. Though today our class, we didn't have a lot of people, but Mr. Joof will be joining us very soon. So we will be talking about say contacts, that is to build network. There are so many journalists that at time you will realize that most Gambian journalists are not connected. Yes, are not connected. They don't know people, and sometimes it's not about knowing people or not knowing people. It's about you trying to familiarize yourself with the people that matter. In every country there are people that matter, there are people that also matter, but people don't know them. But anytime you are interviewing, let's say if Adama Barrow happened to pass, Adama Barrow you happen to know Adama Barrow is a big somebody in the office. No, this leave it there. Yes. Yeah. So you don't need to tell anybody, okay, this is Adama Barrow, or this is not Adama Barrow, or this is the next person, or this is not the next person. Do we understand? So journalists all the time, anyone you meet, try to build relationship with the person. Sometimes I see somebody will tell me, hi, let's say this boy, what is his name? The one you met the last time. The celebrity that normally do this comedy stuff. Figo. I said to Koli told me, I met Figo, but latte o mako number. Balama hamne mom la sa, koko demna. You can have a sit, Ramo. So sometimes journalists, do they am sak, do they rus, do they neka ko hamne come like danga yek sa bopa. Do they neka come ko hamne, okay, kisuma ko approach daf ma wa A, B, O, C. Kisuma ko approach dafa fa ne ma ko nap. We do see that all the time. Ñun jigéen ñi moo expressal. Man suma ooyee ST dafa fa ne man dama ko napp o dama ko bëgga. No. You as a journalist, you should be a go-getter. People should not see these people, but they should see it through your platform. So a journalist should be one that always mingle, that always link with different people. So journalists all the time record, journalists all the time are people that link with people. That's why they tell you journalists should always watch TV. But nowadays what we realize is young journalists, especially in Gambia, they don't know the people that matter. And I want to start it with us because this is a learning process, right? I want to know from you guys, who can tell me who is the Gambia Press Union what will I call it, president? Yes, no, I would not want to hear from two of you. I want to hear from the three of you. I just want to know who is the president. Do you know? Show us. Huh? Check this video for me if it's not interrupting with this video. Who know who is the GPU president? Do you know, the three of you? Sirif Boja? No. Yusuf Andu, do you know? Do you know, Aminata? Hmm? You know? You don't know. Okay. So who can tell us who is the GPU president? Hmm? Okay. Who can tell me? Fatmata Kamara, you want to tell us who is the GPU president?
I want to say Sirifo Bojang, but she made mention and you said.
And I said no. Sirif is no more the president. Sirif's term expired. Give it to Isaac.
Srivaja is still the president of
Sirif's
GPU.
term expired.
I think that was Sekou Bojan that resigns as the SG of Press Union.
Sekou's part was SG, but not Secretary General.
Yeah. So it's still Sirif Bojan.
All right, thank you. Thank you. What's your name? Fatu Kamara. I always want people to have confidence. You understand? She's still president of the GPU. He's my friend, brother. So sometimes as journalists, people will insist and tell you, no, it's not me. Sometimes that do happen to me. I go out and people tell me, hi Fat Samba. And I am like, hi, sorry. No negul Fatu. And the person will be like, hi, why don't you Gambian Talents? And you just laugh. So as a journalist as well, you would meet executive, you will meet directors, you will meet bosses, and you will tell them, let's say you meet, let's say Mambure Njai that we met at the airport. Mambure was there with his J5. You know now J5 is not in fashion, but Mungijel J5 we were watching. You will not even know that that is Mambure Njai, and he was having Max as well. That time it was the time of coronavirus, and the next minute when I saw him, I said, "Honorable," and he was like, "How do you recognize me?" Do you understand that? So all the time, as journalists, you have to be familiar with your environment. It doesn't mean people say no is no. No, no, no. That's why Mr. You've always tell us research and research well. Do you understand? Sometimes you ask people questions. Let's say Adam Barrow recently say election with bakanam. And you want to interview Adam Barrow and you say nene li digante de ak dundala. You ask Adam Barrow, "Mina de man waxuma lolu, man luma wax mo nek election rek la." But if I told you we are following that news and you know the news and he tell you something different from what you had, you just say, but Mr. President, this is what we had. And this was said on this particular day. Please, we want you to emphasize, we want you to do A, B, or C. So today we will be talking about networking. As journalists, you have to network. As journalists, you should know your environment. As journalists, you should know your surrounding. No, it's okay. It's dark. Yeah, Bintu, just pull it off. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. So, as journalists, we are talking about networking. Networking, which is the most important thing for any journalist. Okay. So, what do you guys understand with about networking? Can somebody try? You see what today you are the only guy, so I want to give the guy the chance. So tell us, what do you know about networking in journalism?
Okay, contact to make contacts to deal with other people, to deal with other people, to see what is happening in other side, to make contacts, to know what is happening on other part of the, other part of the country. Yes, that's what I understand about networking.
All right. Who else want to try? Aminata. Now I will be giving.
Okay, what I understand about networking is to communicate with people and link with people. If you are in media, don't be a shy person like to say I will not want to mingle with people. Yeah. You should communicate with people and mingle with people so that you can have interaction among yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any idea.
You don't have any idea. As journalists, you don't tell people, no, I don't have any idea. That is carefree attitude. Message you always say, people have to learn to say, okay, let me try. There is nothing wrong with let me try. So Ramu, we want to hear from you.
What I understand about networking is to mingle with people and come with ideas with different people so that work can be easy within yourself.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's have a try from all the others.
What I understand from my own understanding, networking is to build connection between you and other people.
What I understand is it is the process in which an individual makes contacts with the people, most especially the people who matters the most.
All right, another one.
Yeah, to my own understanding, it's like networking in journalism. Maybe it will help you when doing research and also giving out information to the audience. And
Okay.
Ah,
Awa?
man ma déggee networking mooy comme danga war di gëstu pour di xam contact yi nit ñi comme ñi nga xamante ne nii boo trayé ba nga am seen contact dina boo si waxee dara dina intéressé nit ñi daal.
Okay. So thank you all. So who else? What do you understand about networking?
Um, Networking, it's simple. Uh, from my own understanding, it's like getting to know people, socializing, and connecting with people. As a journalist, you should be able to connect with people, especially those that matters the most. Those are, you know, government officials, celebrities, you name it.
We should stop. All right. I said to Kuli, come and just finish the class whilst we discuss, okay? Your image is very bad. So you yeah, I said you can just continue. I want everybody to share their little experiences based on how they communicate with people. What do I tell you when you need to call somebody?
Yes. So, walaikum salam. You're welcome. Like to say, we're good to go. Are we good to go? All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Aisha, thank you. So what I want to say about networking is the process that lead you to your contact. Network all the time is about who you talk to, how you talk to the person. Like I said earlier, some of us as media professionals, we want to bluff. Be careful with my adapter. That is what connect my device. Some of us as journalists, we want to be bluff. We want to say, okay, we are celebrities. I am not going to talk to A. I am not going to talk to B. As journalists, you don't do that. Journalists, you will even see somebody that always criticize you on social media and say, I hate this particular person, but yet still you follow that person for interview. And later that can even drive a pattern where you and that particular individual become friends. So how do you call people when people are say, Kadi, before you go, come and do that for us? For you personally, I train you when you have a sick person. Now we are talking about a sick person. So here I am. I am sick. Please allow him, leave him. Now I am sick. So Kadi, I want you to call me to tell me you want to interview me. Here is your phone. We are live. Please get closer. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kadi Toure. Okay. My name is Kadi Toure. As Fatima was saying, this is how they taught us. Like if you have an interview, how to talk with someone or the person that you don't know. Can I start?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You don't need to wait for anybody.
So
And I say this all the time, all of you as journalists, whenever you are working, don't be distracted by what the next person is doing. Sometimes we are in an interview, just like yesterday, we went to my father's house. Whilst we are interviewing, somebody will just pass and say, yo, ninga muni latte ludija, yo, ninga opale, yo, ninga liet. That is part of it. So when you are working, don't mind what the next person is saying about you. If you hold your mic, you have to be you. You don't have to listen to the next person. So some of you, sometimes you see somebody passing, nga start nga get distracted. I don't want to be seeing that, okay?
All right, thank you. Okay, comme Fatou lum doon wax la soo koolee boromam like mi ngi am ku feebar. Okay. Alright, ñu dem then straight to the point. Dama jël mobile bi ma call boromam. Hello. Okay. Hello Fatou.
Hello.
Naka? Yaa ngi okay? Maa yaa ngi fine? Si loo nekka? Fine loolu xew? Lu la jot xanaa? Ok, dañ ma jox sa number bi. Waa danga dem danka nag ma waxaa yow yow mel ni ku xiif de mbaadu Touré nga sant rek ma waxtaanaa yow rek danga ma may tuuti chance rek ñu waxtaan. Ok, dañ ma jox sa number bi ñu ne da nga am ku feebar ku nekk sa loxo foofu te yaa ngi uti ndimbal so ñun tele leen so ma bëgg a waxtaan ak yow maybe su ma waxtaanee ak yow di nga mën a am dimbal si sa nit ku feebar ndax du dëgg.
ñu bari ñëw neen fi waaye kooku ba léegi wérut so man journaliste da ngeen ma soof.
waa xam naa ne di nga wax loolu waaye waxtaan bi nu moo demee la rek yeneen saa yi nag doo dee xam woog bi moo dee laajte loolu waaye di moo ñuy waxtaan di moo dinañ understandante because ñun tam lii suñ liggéey la suñ waxtaanee ak yow ba lii dem on air maybe incha allah nga am ku laa dimbale si sa doom bi.
ok mën ngaa ñëw.
all right thank you.
All right.
jërëjëf.
So let me just explain a short scenario about Kadi. Kadi called somebody, huh? Kadi, come now and go. Explain to us about what happened. You and the person you call, and I happen to take the call from you. Now she don't have that problem, okay?
ok dama call boromam ma ne ko hello na nga def mi ne ma maa ngi fine ma laajte ko turam wax ma but dama ko laajte ndax da nga am nit ku feebar mi ne man nit ku feebar déedéet aw ma nit ku feebar ma ne ko dañ ma josan mi ne ma déedéet man aw ma nit ku feebar rek mu dog ko so mu call back after Fatama moo ko call mu laajte ko mi ne ko oh maa ngi amee nit ku feebar waaye jànxa bi nu ma laajtee moo tax man mënuma understand moo tax ma ne ko ne aw ma nit ku feebar.
So when we are talking about networking, we are also talking about connection. How you talk to people, it matters a lot. Imagine somebody ko hamne dafa am ku febar. Ko hamne let's say dafa daanu rap. Ko hamne let's say neku di gis te daf daan gis. Nga call yaayam nga ne ko da nga am ku febar. Imagine if it was you guys. Ku nekk xam na doom dafa neex. So yow soo koolee ku feebar war nga let's say first ku la jox number bi war na laa wax tur. So kooku mu ngi sant let's say Cissé man Cissé suma kal la. So when you call the person, the first thing you do is establish a relationship with the person as if you know the person long time ago. Can you please leave? So all the time when you call people, the person should feel safe next to you. So when you call hello, nothing at deaf, my yangi fine. Like sometimes if I talk to people on the phone, they will say Kimon gina ne deret. But if I sit and I interview you, because when I am interviewing you, the bad questions come. But if I need something from you, all the good talks you hear it. Do you understand? So whenever you call somebody that is sick, call the person you want to go see la santa or job la santa take job nego sa kalsa munga ko tonya hay man suma anti sa job la santa why le karek la buga. There you just cracked in joke. Do we understand? Huh? Some of you that have your own shows, let's say you want to invite a player and maybe the player is very good in playing but then buga hajan. You call him ganila magisun sa goal binga score. No son sumaraka yo falan la yo bisi ban sitting and then you establish something. Kugrafa ya kam ti kunga watanak mom. Like yesterday night we were going home myself Sanyang around 11, 12. And we saw this woman, the police officer, Kadi, that they decorate and give her a lot of things. So when I saw her on the traffic, I said, yo, sister, yo like lady ut. Yo damalan nama. And I've never met her personally. And I said, damalan uta ut beso na buga la interview. I said, traffic birik la di gis tadi mo di muna tahaw. Ay gudi na. Fune ganen tahaw sa traffic nyo watan. Mina wachal na manala nyo tahaw nyo tam nyo watan. The next minute I told her, can I have your number? I want to interview you. But if you just sit and then ganyo ra ganeko, why yo sa number bisa ana mo naman buga call. So let's say Semester Avenue. Sometimes we approach people like Table Man, when a semester, they say that the person asks for you and Mariama. So sometimes the niggas need minala, nakala, let's say, them say airport, we are approach it. I'm not your hamne, they are happy. Kena mungkin yung holiday, mungkin happy. Why kena mungkin yung holiday, dafa am ditch. Kena mungkin yung holiday, maybe, nakalengko de wahe, then such a kiram. Maybe dafa ñëw holiday doomam dafa dee o dafa ñëw holiday mu ngi am problème o dafa ñëw holiday dafa am tànk bu métti dafa ñëw faju so yow ko soo demee approach ko rek ne ko waaye sa sanse bu nice bi dama na laa ruslo. So wherever you are approaching people, you have to look at their faces. You look at their kanam seen kanam like the Wolof will say ñu ne kanam du kaso waaye koko tëjal mu gis ko or mete mu xam ko. So whenever you are approaching people, that is how you do it. Do you understand? Yes, Babka, take care of the cash bar and everything. I'm only waiting for you to go. The cash bar is almost done. Be quick. I'm only waiting for you. All right? Do you understand? So whenever you are approaching anybody, you have to approach the person nice. Let's say you look at the person. Koko mungi solo. Now cameraman show us this our soul. All right? Our lum sol abaya, our jogal nga taxaw. Okay, legi awa mu ngi sol abaya bu mu sol mu ngi oyof and everything. Legi dama bëggoon let's say come and approach her for interview and we see. Mun nga ko tontu dégg nga. Mun nga ko saaga, mun nga ko has. It's all part of it. Ñun suñu interview dafa am ñu dee saaga, am ñu dee rusloo, am ñu dee mbecc, am ñu dee has. Ñeneen sax ñu xuloo ak suñ parents at home, ñun xamul leen ñu sippi ñu xuloo bi. All right, so suñ nurse bi si office bi. So I give you the mic. We are live, so know that.
Interview on what?
Anyway, you're the boss. We just want to know the approach.
Nah,
My fee.
can I go in English? They know too.
We don't want to know whether you speak English or Wolof. The question might not even be right. What we want to know is the approach. Here we are talking about networking.
She cannot speak Mandinka. She doesn't understand Mandinka. She doesn't understand
You
English.
Wolof?
No.
Okay, speak Mandinka. We want to know your approach.
Ibe nyani?
Yow man taluma la dégguma li ngay wax.
Ibe kairan.
Dégguma li ngay wax naa la ko.
How are you doing?
Man dégguma loolu de.
Alright, thank you. Let me know our tahawal approach ko. And I will give her feedback. So for the use of approach, I want to see the different.
When I approach, you will talk.
Hello.
Jaha sa sanse nice na nanga def
maa ngi fi.
yaa ngi si jàmm.
maa ngi si jàmm.
Dama la bëgg a interview de yow nice nga de ku la ne nice loo daf la iñaane rek.
Man taluma nice.
Loo tal.
aw ma jotu nice.
yow loo tal nag.
Man dama yàkkamti.
Xanaa bëgg loo wax ak man.
Déedéet aw ma jot.
Lu tax.
Dama yàkkamti.
Lu yàkkamti waaye.
Déedéet.
bu yàkkamti yaaxule maa yow la.
Déedéet dama seet keneen.
yow nag.
Déedéet man aw ma jot.
dañu wax rek benn 5 minutes rek.
Déedéet aw ma jot si sax.
benn 5 minutes mënuloo ma koo may.
Billaay mënuma la ko.
bay loolu ñu wax tuuti. sa sanse bi nice na yow maa daane sa sanse bi moo maa rëy waay. nañu waxtaan xoolal su waxtaanee da dégg.
loo bëgg ñu waxtaanee.
yow xam nga. mel ni si biir néeg bi.
Déedéet man xamul.
de ana waaji.
Déedéet man kenn nekk.
You wait. So I should approach her, right? I'm good in approaching because I rhyme and rap. So so na si no def. Ana alaji mo la yondi.
Loolu sa problème.
No alaji xam naa alaji mo so na yaa ngi rafet xam nga alaji mo la yondi xam nga mo naan man góor yi si nga solo san seen yàlla ne bëgg so moo dama la ndax alaji mo la yondi.
Man aw ma jot sëñ bi.
Non yow war nga am jot soxna si am nga yow war nga am jot xam naa ne soo gisee ñu génne comme dafa mel ni si alaji ñaare wala alaji mo la yondi. Comprends nga yaa ngi rafet moo tax ma la alaji mo la yondi. mais xam nga time yi fu ne dog baa ngi ñëw damaa ñëwoon dugg ci.
Loolu du sa problème.
ana dama invité fu ñëwoon dugg ci alaji.
Déedéet.
war nga ma invité fu ñëwoon dugg.
Dama ut keneen.
non damaa ñëwoon dugg yow xam nga nag soo ma invité sax damaa ñëwoon dugg léegi man waaye foos laa ñëwoon dugg ji. waaw wala déedéet.
Xaaral fekk nga xam fu ma dëkk.
xam nga dinaa toog ba foo dëkk sax man naa ñëwoon dugg ji yaa xam nga naka la dinaa fa ñëw.
Déedéet man aw ma jot invité.
dinaa fa ñëw sax waaye xam nga la bëgg a soxna si dama bëgg ñu waxtaan xam nga soot waxtaan rek si nga xam na ne comme yow soo wut keneen waxut xam nga affaire bi dina waaye fu ñu waxtaan rek tap yaa xam nga naka la fa demee rek so bàyyi ñu waxtaan rek yaa xam nga.
Yow man rek nga gis.
non yoo xam ne moo tax ma ñëw si yow nag.
Mbedd bi yëpp ñii
moo tax ma ñëw si yow soxna si moo tax ma ñëw si yow.
dama si keneen.
dama xam ne da nga rafet soo génne télé ñëpp laay bokk moo tax ma ñëw si yow.
Man sama taaru sa problème.
non suma problème la kay soxna si. parce que sa problème jëkkër la man tam sa jëkkër la.
Yow sa problème
jëkkër la so bàyyi ñu waxtaan rek bàyyi ñu waxtaan rek dëgg nga yaa xam naka la bàyyi ñu waxtaan rek du noonu.
lu ñu waxtaan.
affaire yi xam nga dëgg bi nu mu demee la xam nga léeg-léeg président dafay wax lii léeg-léeg xam nga doo gis dara xam nga ñu ne président dafay wax lii su demee taw muy wax li xam nga tali bi pompe ndox bi moom daana maan léeg-léeg ñu ne nawet comme maanaam léegi soo demee kër soo demee si benn kër ñu ne nga ne
Thank you, Yusufa. Clap for Yusufa. Clap for him. I think he tried, right? Salimatu also tried. Okay, I didn't met Salimatu's on. So all the time when you are approaching somebody, what's your name? Anne. When you are approaching somebody, the language does not matter. Yesterday, if some of you watched the video at my father's house, you all know Tida. That is their women mobilizer. Then now she's in the communication side. Tida don't speak Wolof, and I don't speak Mandinka. But when I approached her and she said, "I'm going to Olaf be for Legi man Mandinka malaka," and I want to interview Tida, and I said, "Sumole, kontarante." And people start laughing. I don't look at them and they laugh. And I ask my question, and then she follow me in the wall of right. So sometimes you can ask people question in Mandinka and they respond in Wolof. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's why whenever we are going out, we always say we want to have at least three different language or four different language because it's nice if you are Mandinka interview you, you are Wolof interview you, you are serious interview you. But in case you don't have that, you have to teach the person. Ah, hana yo amulo jikar nak. And me na di man amo jikar nga kon dinala utal jikar resources. So ko defe nak nga dega inko. Alright? Na naman dego nakala Olaf. Nga nila dinala utal jikar lawbe. So ko defe nga dega Olaf. Dego lo jola la kasupo ko bocho whatsoever. Harama nyo kola la may muna musayal. So ko defe ko dafa am that approach. Yeah, you understand? Let's say yaa ngi interview nit like mom yéen a ngi doon waxtaan ak moom gisuma kenn mu describe ko comme bu ñam like dafa amee bu ñu kaw la yu tooñ ko nga ne la yow da nga nuroo suma benn sista de man yow laa ko fogoon sax yow ka sa expose bi yow laa ko fogoon and then mu la nga gis dafa gën a ree nga ne ko wuy daanu naa leer waay xaaral sama emballage jikaram di ma dóor you understand obviously dafa nangu ñaa interview imam like imam Babali. Some people say imam for difficult. Man, I say he's not difficult, that difficult. When I call him, I was anasuma imam salam alaikum imam sukana. Mene wa fatu nuyu naa la imam ma jóg na bu ma jóg mene déedéet bul jóg xaaral ma la jox ndigal ku nga jóg ma imam soo bëggee sama si suufa su mene walaay waxi téléphone da nga ma mene hi imam na ma naa la some of them will even tell you you didn't call me because you have sohla, that's why you are calling me. We do see that all the time. So sometimes you as well as the journalist, you have an obligation to tell the hi man call mo na sa because am dara de. You start ngay waxtaan ak kooku ba nga am lo soxla. But sometimes you should not also too much talk is not good for journalists. You are approaching somebody she don't want. If you convince a person one, two, doy na. But nga téye nit ki. No sis bul dem bu ma ruslo ma si Yusuf Ndour. You know xam nga fekk hit na ko yaa ngi ko irritated hit na spray boo def sa neexu ko hit na poxo yi ak all of those things. So we should avoid all of those things, okay? It's all part of the networking, right? Sometimes you approach people ñoom dina am stress, especially people that go to the bank, especially time in julli bi. Let's imagine kooku ñëw katam mu ngi ko disappoint. So the way you talk to the person matters a lot. Moom mi am disappointment nga oo ko rek mu stress nga ne sister ku la stress wax ma ko gis nga suma doole bi suma la ko boxale kooku dina start to vent out ñawkati li nga ne ok xaaral sama interview la su ko defee nga wax loolu su ko defee ñawkati ñoom it ñu bàyyi seen xel xam ne ñiti ñu ngi leen a seet. There you have a friend. So like I said all the time watch TV and do not say I am working at Gambian Talents. It's only Gambian Talents I should watch. As a journalist, you should watch every television, including CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC, and TFM. Do we know that sometimes we have guests from Senegal that come to the Gambia? When we were interviewing one same thing, you don't touch it on it. Yes, the same thing happened. There's one of Wallace's song. You see a guy. The guy was standing somewhere, and you will see how the guy will look at us. And the guy told us, I was there with Ida. Somebody introduced and said, "Yo, the Malindi Satan. Oh, I know you." That was my first time seeing the guy. I think that's Jirim. I don't know him. Maybe he's filmed to people that watch maybe Senegal and all. Man ko way gra yo tam naman nala def de art theater. I didn't know him. But you don't tell people I don't know you as a journalist. You don't do that. Why fanatila? I'm going to know bari. So journalists, you have to network. When you go to program, look at the people that matter and interview them. I'm not saying the people that do not matter, don't interview them. Let's imagine, for instance, we go to State House. Ami Bojang is there. Adama Barrow is there. Foreign Affairs Minister Tangara is there. Finance Minister is there, Mamburenjai. And also, what's this guy's name? Dr. Samate, I said to call his husband. All these five, who will you interview? Huh? Adam Barrow. Why Adam Barrow?
Because he's the president of the republic.
Okay, so if you don't have Adam Barrow, who will you interview?
Ministry of Health.
Why Ministry of Health?
Because at this moment, like the cases to COVID is increasing, and people want to know exactly whether they follow any proceedings when it comes to that. Yes.
All right, that's good. And who else want to try? If Adam Barrow did not allow you, who else? After the Minister of Health, who else want to try?
Minister of Finance am Buri Njie parce que nit ñi soxla nañ xëj na ku leen financer mën nga ko laaj ci loolu comme ndaw ñi mën nañ leen financer pour wàññi yëfi baak wee bi ak yooyu ak jigéen ñeeg yooyu pour financer leen daal.
So give it to my friend here. Aminata Dabo. Aminata, I miss you. So Aminata, tell us, if you go to the State House, who will you interview?
Yeah, if I cannot have the president, I can have, as you mentioned, I said to call it husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. For me personally, who else have a different notion, different from the two that they said? Finance and health. Those are the only two that people say they want to interview. If not Adam Abara, who else do you want to interview? I want to interview Amin Bojang Sisoho. If you don't see the president, she's the public relations officer. Don't we think we should interview her as well? All right. So sometimes some of these people, they're not easy to get. So once you get them, that is where you ask questions. So networking also have to do with, like, sometimes you go to press conference, they will tell you, we only allow you to ask only 2 questions. Or each media house, 1 question. Should they determine how many questions you should ask? If other media houses are there and they don't want to ask, then how about you allow others to ask 10 or 15 questions? But no, it's okay. Yeah. But other people want to just sit and dictate you as the journalist. So you don't tell people that me, I want to ask 2 questions or 3 questions. When you go to programs, you are to ask. Mr. You've always say capitalize, because once you have the mic like this, nobody can take it, force it away from you. So you ask the person. If the person answer or don't answer, people know that you already asked the person. So you can say, my first question is, why is Gambia not moving? The second question is, President Barrow, do you want to stand again for another elections? My third question is, how prepared is the NPP? My fourth question is, but sometimes you cannot go more than 4 or more than 3, at least more than, let's say 3. All right? You have a question. Okay.
So, when you interviewing those kind of people, do you repeat your question continuously or you ask them one by one?
For me personally, what I prefer is I always ask my questions straight, because there are some people, once you hold the mic like this, you cannot take the mic back. My first question is A, my second question is B. And when they are answering, sometimes they will say, what is your question again? I forget your question. Sometimes they tell you that. Like yesterday, my fatty, I have only 2 questions. I asked him all the 2 questions, fat, over there. And the other thing about networking is anywhere you go, observe. The best journalist is the person that observe, the person that look at her environment. Yesterday we went to my party. Some of his party members were there. So he said, okay, this one is Ramatulai Fai, this one is Aminata Dabo, Aisha Tukoli, Fatu Kamara, Maimuna Jaju. and only one person that is our, and she didn't introduce our. So you should think as a journalist, who do you think this should be? Huh? If my father introduce everybody and leave one person, who do you think the next person should be? And we were at his house. His wife. All right. So as journalists, you have to be very observant. And the moment I realized that maybe that is the wife, because especially ladies where they are jigging, everybody will sell. If everybody here was a man, only Yusuf Andur was the lady, the lady will not feel comfortable in the man. But because Yusuf Andur is a guy, that's why he's feeling comfortable. You know, men, they don't have problem. But women, then they have problem. So if I told you go to somebody's house and he introduced everybody and leave one person, and the person was part of the people that were there, you should know. And I just turned and I tease her. I said, Madam Fatih, why the program was live? Because I just want to confirm. So I want to Jai her Gao to tell her that I know this is you. Ana bena chin yu bahi, ana leka yu nehi. Ya defar ndewo bu newe, and she laugh. And I laugh. Manako, why can you ma invite na manyo fi whole day new interview? And she laugh. I leave her. Until after my interview, I interview everybody. And I went straight to her. I say, wow, I catch my father's wife on camera. So I said, definitely to that. So as a journalist all the time, you have to be observant. As a journalist, you should know whether the permanent secretary and the minister are not talking. Do you know sometimes that do happen? Huh? Yes. Yes. Sometimes journalists go to program, they observe that even two ministers are not talking. Sometimes journalists go to program, they realize National Assembly members, this and this are not talking. Either when they pass him. Huh? Sometimes what happen is when the person speak and they want to give it to the other one, the person say, keep talking without giving the person chance. Sometimes you sit, you hear Momo at the back. I think in those days when we go to health, we do have that, because especially when they were talking about the money that people were talking about, that during the COVID-19 there was a lot of money. It is health people that were talking about this. So sometimes as journalists all the time, like the one of will always say, Guinness gaming chismawa. Why do sa nopa? The nopa is like this. You see, this is the nopa. The nopa is listening. And the eye is not there. So, journalists, your role is to inform, educate, and entertain people. So, if something is happening, educate the people. Go to the person, approach the person, and say, Minister Dew, nega ne halis bi dafa raise de kabe. Te yo ya ko sacha. Minister bi sumere lolu problem am la mo jël public office. He have to be account for it. And after every interview, you shake hand with your guest and say, thank you very much, sir. Jeff, we appreciated coming to your office and you answering this question. These are not only our questions, but these are the questions that the general public are talking about. So we want to bring the truth to light. That is it. So as journalists, you don't build enmity within people. Like when I was interviewing, what is his name? The Minister of Information, Silla. We went to his office. The moment we just stepped in, he said, Fatu, yo, kupari problem ga. Said another interview with the airport. We need a little airport. And I said, Honorable, honestly, yo, man, yo, many years, almost 10 years. Man, I'm a problem. Man, naman sa airport, but ni start, di ma arrest, di ma has, di ma saga. I don't even know. I did it, kind. And I said, yes. Sometimes limo day happen, and we start talking. And after that was just a conversation between me and him. But at the end of the day, you will not achieve that interview you want to have with him. So at the end of the day, you're bought with people. You have to leave it in your house or leave it at office and you go and talk to people. And after every interview, you ask people questions that they don't like. You ask people questions that at the end of the day, even their followers, they don't want. So when you are ready, all the time you say, Jereng and Jeff, si topa bingin na topa Gambian Talents TV. Te lilan inilon, askan ba ko, what do you know ko? Like Lawyer Dabo, we interviewed him during the election, not election, road to Newenal. We told him, you know, ya had the kabi. Minasuma ya had the kabi, kon you ame the kabi, nyom nyo nasa, right? You know, that was highlight. But somebody called my dad and told my dad that sa doom bi lum de laajte lawyer Darboe dafa bon. Should you tell me what to ask and what not to ask? Loolu la ñiti di dee wax. That is what people say. People say lawyer Darboe moo yaha dëkk bi. So if you sit with lawyer Darboe, you have to give him that opportunity. Come on, mu clear boppam. I also asked him about the issue of messing ko gadi ko dee defala ruuj ko. Mais moom su gisee yooyu daf dee ree. You understand? So sometimes as journalists, you build network. Whenever you are asking those questions to people, you don't ask it ba pare nga stress sa karam bi nga frown. Ah, honorable, dégg nga ne ñu ne yow dëkk bi yaa ko yaa. Looy wax loolu? Moom tam mu tontu. Waaye yow yaa yaa dëkk bi yow. You don't do that as journalists. Then yaa ngi wane kooku moo ko yaa. Yow party bi nga support, nobody should know. That's why Gambian Talent doo dégg ñu ne la Fatou party A la moo support or party B. Ku nekk am na preference am. Ku nekk am na fu mu bugga. Right? But you don't show that. Okay? So build contacts. And after every interview, bulen din nango, nobody mulijanti lens an interview. It's good. Like within the office, somebody can help you. But sulan you build a like let's say I said Kuli Momo Ham footballer. What is the footballer name? Wale Fofana. I don't know Wale. I have never met Wale. I don't know nothing about Wale, but I said to help me. If I said to help me and call Wale and say, "Ha, someone been a interview, blah blah blah," no problem. You can go. You interview Wale. But when you interview Wale, make sure you tell Isa to give me Wale's number. If Isa do not want to give it to you, when you go, you say, "Wale, your number they use WhatsApp," so that you can also have direct contact with Wale. That can build another network. You never know. He might have his program. He might have his own, let's say, academy, and one the communication specialist will contact you and say, "Oh, this is part of some communication league." But after every interview, people just rush and go. No, that's not how it goes. Okay, Ramu, I am liking you today.
If you interview somebody, comme nga wax ko nga lecce jaar-jaaram boo xam ne daf koy naxari mu merci biir interview bi léegi soo paree ak moom ba ngeen teg seen caméra bi fay yëpp is it good pour nga baalu axante moom si lu ma la lecce loo xam ne neexut la.
Ram, why should you balu aha and off camera sa di balu aha? Then it means yow da nga ragal liggéey bi nga def. Kooku moo nekk a public figure. I always say this. There are people they matter so much in the Gambia. I'm not saying don't apologize to people, but apologize is wrong. Especially in an interview. If you are saying the fact, that's why they say journalists all the time, you have to know the fact. Tay lawyer Darboe, luñ ko wane ne ñu ne lawyer Darboe moo tas dëkk bi. Is Father Sama that say that to lawyer Darboe? No. This is something that so many people will say. Even opposition leaders will say, lawyer Darboe mooy seytaane bi, bum nekkoon kaso, dëkk bi dem na, bum génnee 3 years jeena and all that. If you sit with the person, you say that. So after that interview, if lawyer Darboe clear himself, why should you apologize to lawyer Darboe? But so like I saw one journalist, I don't want to mention but media house, but journalist before interview somebody, I think Sidi Njai. And mina Sidi Njai ne how much an NPP be, drug be and whatsoever. And at the end of the day, Sidi Njai go, withdraw that statement, withdraw. And then we'll take it back and then mune sorry. Right? I withdraw it. Journalists, you don't do that. If you know what you are doing, you don't know that. So lula orla. You say that's why they tell you in journalism, you can tell people nakala according to what people say. There is a word that Mr. Joof said, allegedly. There is also another word, sulundega. You know, all of those things are here. It's not your yakowa, but this is what people lunla tumal. Man, I don't apologize to anybody off the camera. Then it means what you're doing. Dan ko ragal. Kooku moo nekk public figure. Moom mooy liggéey si mbooloo. Su liggéey si mbooloo at the end of the day, do ham lolo. Go and give it to Abdullah and tell him to enter the cash power right now. So this is something that everybody should know. All right? Every one of us should know that. Ramu, journalists are not enemies. Journalists supposed to be friends. Journalists supposed to help people to know what is wrong and what is right. You understand? But if you just sit there and then just sit down and say, okay, if I ask these people, then mamera or whatsoever, then you're not doing journalism. Journalism from tange yo yako wara nyo fake. because nit yi ñu ngee tuumal nit yow nga ñëw nga latte ko kooku mu clair boppam. That is what journalism is all about. After like every interview, you can say thank you for watching. And whoever do not want what we talk about, we're sorry, but this is how the work's supposed to be. So that's what we believe and that's what we think is right. Holland, Senegal, especially I guys in national TV. When they invite somebody, da nga fa na nga caricature koko. Sun pare ñom ñep ñu reetaan haata. You see three opposition parties, they are all in the same platform. Kii wala ne yow sa opposition da ngeen yàq xaalis da ngeen lekk xaalis te suñ génnee dara du si jóg soo pare sa sooy ñibbi kenn may la liif ngeen dem. So why not us Gambia? We're not enemies to the state. We're friends. So after interviews, build contacts. Linga ko latte is not your yako ko latte, but local latte monika lu askan bi buga ham. So build your connection. Yaa ngi dem benn programme demuloo fa for journalism, but dem nga like Aïssatou Koli dem na I think si lii bi naka stadium bi ku seetaan football match gis fa Figo. Figo is a big somebody. Bala nga bàyyi kooku mu romba fan nga ko gisee waat. Some of these celebrities, they don't even watch their social media to reply messages. Let's say, because somebody will text you, please, I want your number, I want to interview you. Hit na bala mo ko gisa, they'll on back to America before mo gis all of those things. I think Mr. Joof is also on the line with us. So, Mr. Joof, so sometimes you can just show somebody because Mr. Joof is talking, we can show one person. So sometimes it's not about let me wait till the next day, Madoga call Coco or whatsoever. Anywhere you see people, approach them and get their numbers. But so nema harbi elek muna mo neka lenen. Benin media house muna ko interview. Just like I said to Kuli and Figos um 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 conversation or connection. Figo went. And I said to Kuli thought that is that Figo or that's not Figo. There was nothing wrong with I said to Kuli just break on Hi ki Figo la dama la di seetaan maa ngi tudd Aïssatou Colley maa ngi liggéey Gambian Talents TV bugga naa la am for an interview. There is nothing wrong with that. Waaye nga bàyyi ba kooku dem nga ne da nga bugg a xam ne kooku Figo la dama fa ne Figo laa gis na nekkul Figo bala nga koo xam nga gis ko si beneen media house ñu def ko nga ne kon Figo mu ngi Gambia. There is nothing wrong with you approaching somebody to know whether it's the person or not. There is nothing wrong with that. So do not wait till another day nga ne ma approach somebody. Because know that what you want, Gambia, we don't have many celebrities. What I am looking for is what you are looking for. What I am looking for is what you are looking for. What I'm looking for is what another media house is looking for. So all the time, it is important. Anybody you see, interview them. Because some of these celebrities that come for holidays, some of them will be going back very soon. Sometimes some of them they will not even spend more than one month in Gambia. So as a journalist, you have to be fast. Journalist, but you titaru. Journalist don't want ruski or the maruskele. So Mr. Joof, you're welcome to our class. We are talking about networking. Because we realized Isaac Dukoli was telling me the last time he saw Figo, but he could not approach Figo because she thought that that was not Figo. But by the time she realized it, Figo was in another platform, and now she cannot have Figo for interview. And sometimes you will write to these people, especially celebrities, they will not answer. So make here why the sign. That's what we're talking about. How you approach people, and we also talk about Kaditure's experience with the guy that was sick that I told Kadi to call, and Kadi just called and said, "Danga am ko fever." And Kokune, they did am ko fever. And I called the person and I said, naka nga def mbaa yaa ngi fine jaamalante ñoom and tiis ko ne ko xay den ma jox sa nomba ñu ne dafa am ku sa benn xale bu feebar den ko bëggoon a ñëw seet si mu ne oh waaye xale bi ni mu waxee man nice. So today that's what we are talking about because we believe that most of them then they shy who approach people and approach is everything. And si suba bi bu maa ñëw dama am benn approach si suuf somebody I saw a lady a beautiful lady Mama Conte mu ne mu ngi dëkk Germany mu just gis ma mu ne hey Fat Samba and I was like oh naka nga def ma yaa ngi fa mu ne xame wuloo ma man sa fan la dama leen dee seetaan and she happened to call all the people that I go with the Semester Avenue Seynabou Mariama and Sisawa and we all laugh. So it's nice that people should know how to approach people. So Mr. Joof, welcome to the class.
Thank you very much, Faru.
We're
Sorry
not
that
getting.
I joined in late. Are you not getting me?
Yeah, we are getting you.
Yes, I say thank you very much, Fatu. I'm sorry that I came into the class late. Um, was busy taking care of some things this morning. Yeah, I just woke up. It serves as the basis of everything that we do. I always say journalism is not what or what bure. Yes, journalism does not translate to or equal to what. Research is very important. Paying attention is very important. As a journalist, you should always have your radar on. As a journalist, you should always have your radar on. Do we know what a radar is? Okay. It's a tool that is used to scan stuff, look at stuff. And as a journalist, you should, when you hear that, it means you should be able to um, um, spontaneously pick things. You should be looking around left and right. Your eyes should be scanning what is happening, whether you are working, whether you are off the clock, every single time. You see, there are so many stories around us every day that we don't know, that we don't care about because we think they are normal, like everyday things. When you have a responsibility to create a perspective out of that, people can be passing something or someplace or somewhere on a daily basis without noticing something. And you, as a journalist, you have a responsibility to make people realize, oh, kon lii mu ngi fi jaara fa ñu mbettenne ndeke lii nii la mel wow musuma koo gisee nii I didn't know this thing exists. You should be able to give people perceptions from what you do and how you present it. Having access to people, it's key. And as Fatu just stated, um, Gambia is small, and for the most part, we are not creative. It's just the bottom line. Everybody wants to do the same thing. Mota Sudara Hewe, you see everybody just jumping on it because we are not creative. Yes, can you look at what other people are doing? Can you look at what other media houses are doing and draw inspiration from it? Yes, but you should always be able to twist it around and give it a unique and original look or feeling. And this is what we don't do. When I talk about having your radar on, you need to be able to read or recognize. And that is you seeing something as Isatopoli did with figure and be able to recognize that that is figure. You should be able to assess. And I'm breaking down radar for you guys. RADAR. And it's important that folks write it down. You should be able to read. Jogi said that I'm gonna read the situation, read the environment, scan around to see, okay, lan mo neka di go on, ñan ñoo fi neka, lan la ñoo paré def, ci yan tojange lañ neka. Yeah, you should be able to read. You should be able to assess the situation. After you read the situation, you assess the situation to see, weigh your options, balance them out, look at where we are, interpret things. After you read and assess the situation, you recognize that you need to take action, right? And the next step is taking the action. So you read, you assess, you recognize, you take action. And taking action here would have been, I said to call it, Heladna, Helam de Munge debate, Mom Lamdo Mom. Approach the person as far to say. That's taking the action right there. Take action. And after that, you evaluate the whole situation or review and evaluate. That is what the last R stands for. The review. What do you review? You review your. Oh, it's very important. You have a responsibility to give people news, current news. If you miss it because you are in a car, send the person a message. But as Fatu said, Gambian public figures hajan rek inyabe matara. Kusi am nguur su ndaw, a little bit of prestige, a little bit of opportunity. And I said to Kolisa Mandegi that Made Hajan, I almost have to book an appointment to talk to her or something. Go on to the prestige in Gambia, you are into Hajaning, you are into, I mean, Dalu, you think, okay, you are so big. And people have to, life has to be difficult for people to be able to reach you, to be able to leave. They get themselves so busy. And that's one thing that Fat Sambal learned the hard way. Tumokobole and with anybody, Purmudila, they all have to, most of them have to get private numbers to privatize their numbers. For what? You can call people, but people can call you back. It took me a while to understand that. So you need to know that you take advantage of the situation and make hay while the sun shines. If you have an opportunity, you go places, meet somebody, even if you don't need them right away. If not today, you may need it in the short run or in the long run because things always happen. So it's important that you know how to network. When you go out to events, do that. You are sent there by your institution. Take the number, send it to me, send it to Fatu. We keep it in the bank. We save the numbers in the bank. That's why it's easy whenever we want to do anything, we go to our to do what we need to do. So it's good to be prepared. It's good to be on point. It's good to take responsibility and make things happen for yourself. Yes. So networking is very important. This doesn't mean that you should harass people. It doesn't mean that you should abuse people. Force it, but be nice, be jovial, talk to people, listen to them. You don't know what they have to offer. Some of them, the man ball in it, or send my message based on okay, we've had interns here that I have linked up with people. It got to a point where I don't have to struggle eventually. But before you get there, you have to make this initial contact. It would never even be enough. Before some people believe in you, it takes time. And the reality is, even after believing in you, they just feel like they need to hijack you. That's just the bottom line. They need to make life hard. They talk to people going to interview Malilele, they talk and they're like, I facilitate to interview them, or for one of the staff or intern to interview them. And when they sit on the platform, oh, thank you very much for inviting me to the platform, they'll say a lot of things. And guess what? They can reach out there to interview them. Even not long ago, last week, we had some interviews that the people we interviewed were the ones who contacted us. They are important. So, and you never give up. You continue to network, you continue to follow up with them, and you continue to check in with them. Fatu Kamara said it in our interview with her when Fatu Samba interviewed her that I've been following her for the longest. You swallow your pride and ask people for their contact. It doesn't matter what it is. I've reached out to Fatu Samba, Fatu Kamara, nothing less than 10 times to request interviews, and she would not grant it. She said it. You heard her say it. Because I'm gonna man beef, I don't take it personal. I reach out to you. Like right now, Baba just said in Chapachuli, you all know him. Do you guys know Baba Ja? Yeah, Usuma Harid there, exactly. Not long ago, Tegal Namafi Bersigu Jarudara, and he threatened me. Ega call ma, you not call me, you fideka Seattle threatened me and said a lot of things. Manko Sohla, Mangi Atlanta ni Sumadelo Seattle, I will call him. I need him for something. I'll call him when I go back to Seattle because I want him to do something for me. Lima leen a jàngal rek mooy waxam bi yóbbuwut ma fenn bul ma kool bul ma lii bul ma lele xanaa fekk aw ma si moom soxla da nga waxaat si man maa ngi toog di xaar dinaa binda lii dinaa def leen dinaa wax lele fii koo fi xamal benn xamal na la fukka su defee tojaa ngeen ma wax su ko président Baro joxee brown envelope dinaa ko wax su ko président Baro su defee lii suñ ne dafa xeesal dinaa ko wax suñ ne dafa def lii dafa def lele dinaa ko wax whatever it is that happens with him or he does allegedly we will say it. Will we follow due diligence? Yes. But danga wara xam sa soxla and you should be able to network and keep contacts so that today or elect or gannaaw elect so soxla guy mu mun laa yomba. So I'm saying this because there were times that people went for COVID or do their work as they should only for them. Journalists dafa rusa them for interview fake guy on the high table or fake on the side because people are looking mulbe jibe kan. Amanya natala wanyama. It shouldn't be like that. You are there to do your work. Ñoom li ñoo def what they are doing ibe menki kam wala muy la doko. Listen, your journalism moisali. Don't be shy in the public. Don't be shy in the car park, Chigarasby. Don't be shy in the market. Anywhere you meet people, approach them nicely and talk to them and try to get their contact if possible. Any contact they give you, most of them sometimes, especially politicians, may not give you their direct contact. They'll give you the contact to their supporters, their secretary, their PR, and the like. But with time, once you build trust with them, they will be the one to run after you because they need you. They need your platform. So Bulen Hepsen Bopa, partly too, before I will open the floor, one of the reasons why people don't take you serious is your comportment, is your demeanor, is your tone of voice, is your body language, is your dress code. As Denzel Washington, you must do something you've never done. So right, we use the right choice of words. We use our body language should be presentable when we talk to people. Ñu bari si yéen bete da ngeen gisee seen bopp xale. So gisee sa bopp xale first, everyone else will see you as a xale. What are you doing on your phone? It's not okay. It's not okay. Right? You see, these are some of the things you're supposed to concentrate. A class is a class, and you should concentrate to learn. Now, I want you to tell me two things that you've heard me say so far, Maimuna.
You were talking about, as a journalist, you shouldn't be shy. If you want to have something from somebody, you shouldn't be shy. But I love.
What else?
And you were talking about Baba just issue. There was a time that he was saying so many things about you. So when I put him to like, I also want something from him. So when you go back to get
From who?
Baba Jack.
Getting chapa actually. Okay. Yes. So um you need to be consistent and you need to comport yourself right so that folks can take you serious. So let it say sometimes even your demeanor alone can turn them off. But if you are nice, neat, professional, and respectful, they will most likely listen to you. They'll most likely listen to you. So in la hajane bena yon nyari yon, the next time they may. And this is where you need to set standards for yourself though. Because if you are doing work and xamuñ la si nga ñëw di introduce sa boppa xamuñ sa télé xamuñ sa radio whatever, it looks like yow tojuloo fen te man du laa tey nga ñëw ne da ngaa wax ak man. I'm looking for publicity, I'm looking for buzz, I'm looking for a platform that would be able to take me places. At the end of the day, you are the one. I'm showing you what happened. I may not follow you that much. And this is why you need to set yourself standards. This is why you need to learn to have complicated and sophisticated interviews, critical interviews for the most part when you are interviewing people. Kuseta and Rotundevinal. From day one to today, no Tom Dick and Harry Duchideneka. Ben Tom Dick and Harry Duchideneka. It's usually people that are that deliver. Our principle here is input determines what? Exactly. I just have, if you guys go to the Gambian Talents Facebook page or my personal page, you will see I published a flyer for the lineup of Gambian artists. We are doing 13 different artists are on one song that we just produced. And this morning, one of the artists contacted me and said, yes, Dangawara Indi, you should have brought somebody, an artist from Banjul. This is not fair. All the artists you brought us is not really Amun artist from Banjul Lilele. And I responded to him that this is not based on geography. Artist Banjuli, luñ bon, luñ joge Banjul tamit lu nekk capital bi. Suñ fi tojut duñ bokk ci ben project. You have to prove yourself. Input determines output. Not being from Banjul Molali, we didn't choose anybody based on he from Serakunda, la Nyimbota Banzan, Nyimbota Bilkamale, Ifelela Joge. Artists that we think can deliver the message and have heard the power and the wherewithal and ability to deliver. Those are the ones that we pick to be part of the project. So you deliver, you will be on it. And I've had this conversation with artists like Biggie Rosie, artists like Big Far. They used to follow me so much. Those days, 10 songs, I told you, fan. Big Far, the same thing. Most of the songs might not even have been clean for years. But once they made it to stardom, once they are able to produce something that the people are feeling and is good enough, they don't have to struggle anymore. That's just life. So this is a general lesson for you guys, not only about even the journalism part or the networking part. Why in life you're just supposed to be doing things to prove yourself. Let your work speak for you, not you forcing it or making it look like this is what is morally right. Limo gonna refet. Nila orona deme nila nyanta kelate ne nyine nyinyata. The world doesn't operate by what is nyinya. The world operates by what is realistic. Lolo mo am solo. So you bari si ñun nak dañ dee make that the thinking we are entitled to this, we are entitled to that. Suma mag daf ma war a defal nangam. My father needs to do this for me. My brother needs to do this for me. The society owes me this much, that much. We think people are obligated to us. Can owe you dara. Nobody owes you nothing. Nobody. It's your work. It's your life that determines what you get in this world for the most part. Mr. Joof can trust you and trust you and trust you. One day you break the $10 to go to Birkama. You go and spend $50, come back and say, I spent $75 or $100. You've destroyed the trust. You've destroyed the trust. So it's very important for ñu xam yu demee nii ñu network with people by making sure that we establish trust. It doesn't mean that you should just use it one time. Occasionally, check on the people. Check on the people. Occasionally, contact leen, just nemmeeku leen, just kii jibe. That way, so leen soxlaa ëllëg ak si biir, it's gonna be easy. Waaye su fekkee ne yow soo amee soxla rek nga contact nit yi, it doesn't work like that. I just had to educate my little niece on this yesterday. My little niece been calling me all these days. Get now mom, I will talk to mom and whatsoever. Get now mom, and she just called. The first thing said, Uncle Paus, nanga def mang. Dama buga nga jump may my telephone. Telephone labo. I'm like, really? In my mind, I processed it for a while. Then later I educated her that if you need something from somebody, you should not just wait till you need something from somebody and you call them. And don't call like param them soxla bi. I educated her as to how to talk. Danga wara maslaha jamalante. Even if you have not been in touch with somebody for a long time and you need something from the person, start initiating a call. Start initiating a text message. Give it a day, 2 or a few days. Re-establish relationship with the person rather than just sit and say what you want. I educated my former high school history teacher about this too a few weeks ago. He just sent me a message, "Pa Usman, I need money to buy A, B, and C to do this and that." I had to educate him. I said, "Sir, we have not been in touch for God knows how many years, over 10 years. Don't you think you should touch base with me and try to see how I'm doing? I see how you are doing, and we reminisce on some good old days and the like before you come up with what they want?" It's the same principle that applies. Don't just want something in life, rek nga dem ci nit ñi. Nit ñi kenn ëppul leen fi fayda. Kenn koo nekkal ci naaj bi rek mu nekkal la ci kër bi. Soo ma wanee ne faalewuloo ma, man tamit duma la faale. Ñaa yitan na ko manqué fent. Fana bàyyi teel lay fana manqué fent. So we need to be able to keep relationships. When we are talking about networking, let's keep relationships. Let's talk to our people and make sure that we establish a good bond with them. That way, time ball and sohla they'll be readily available to you. Should you keep this professional? Yes. Most of you are women, young women, and that is where I will close. Gambia ñu ci bari duñ def dara for free for Mali for. They wanna sleep with you. They want to ask you out. They want to have sex with you. They want to abuse you. Keep your relationship professional. Bés boo leen allowee pour ñu génn yow, pour ñu ama yow sex, pour ñu engage la in any inappropriate way, mooy loolu. Paako yu mel ni Yusuf Ndour. Once you get that, that's it. You will never hear back from them again. But once you respect yourself, eventually you can get what you want. So you, the women, in as much as we're telling you to network, a lot of times people will tell you, "Oh, give me your number, I'll give you your number," this and that. They just want to sleep with you. Gambian men, you bari si ñun, especially Bill Gambia, we take advantage of our positions. So most of those celebrities, public figures, public officials, they are mostly interested in just having in sleeping around with women. So be professional, know where to draw the border. I told you about your radar, and you should apply your radar everywhere, even in your personal life. Read the situation, assess the situation, act on the situation, determine what is wrong or what is right. Act on the situation, and at the end of the day, review the situation. That's your radar. You need to be able to analyze every single thing. You need to be able to review things at the end of the day. You need to be able to act and act aptly, wisely. Settle situation be. If you contact somebody and they said you meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, I watch your platform, I like you, I like what you do, this and that. I want to make sure that you and I need to have an interview, this and that." If it is an official interview, demal office am borom mo fly invite office am. Let them invite you during business hours. So I invite the office at 11 p.m. at night. Fofu ko togn Official work. Somebody inviting you to their office on a Saturday at 11 p.m. Is that an invitation you should honor? Is that an invitation you should honor?
No.
Exactly. If the person invites you at a hotel or a motel, is that an invitation you should honor at 10 p.m. at night? But these are little things that you need to pay attention to. And people take advantage of this. Invite us a hotel, or invite at a late time. Okay, oh, don't worry, I will take you and I'll bring you back. Once you get into the person's you, if you can meet with them at places, independent places, at times that are not weird times, at somewhere you will have help, it's better for you. So Siglen guidance, a lot of times people will come here and ask you, oh, li lele, dama buga def li, dama buga def ak yow lele, dama la buga li. For the most part, most of it is fake. So some of you may get obsessed with these people. You bole le na kena nyar and you interview them or whatsoever, or you have their number, they have your number. Moy lolu. Artists yi ñu ci bari ay bad boys lañ. The bad boys. Correct. I'm not saying all of them, and they know this. I love all of them to death, and we promote them, we celebrate them. But ñu bari ci ñoom, they are not very serious. They know you smiling, you that is into entertainment. With Sisao and them, you guys better watch. Te ay jale bu ñuul ngeen. So they look at you, they want to just have an affair with you at the end of the day. It's important that you pay attention to these things. Nga xam ne lii moo la fa yóbbu. Once you keep the relationship professional, lu si bari di nga am li nga bugga. So you the women mostly, be careful. Is it only women? No. Góor ñi tamit am nañ. So be careful and don't take advantage of the situation as well. In as much as you are networking, you are there on an official basis. You need to keep your office in the loop. You need to keep your TV in the loop. You need to keep your media house in the loop and get the connection. So buggee meeting, contact the office. As far Samba, she does it a lot. All the people when she was arranging road to Lebanon, she approached all of them. Nim am difficulty with reaching them or whatsoever. She linked me up with them and I was able to facilitate it for her. It's a teamwork. You are not alone in this. If you sneak and do certain things with people, eventually should come out in the light, yow yaay mujjee rus. Loolu la olof Njaay wax ne kuy naan di nobbu bés boo mandee feeñ. Because di nga jaayee ko ci mbedd mi te nit ñi dinañ xam ne da nga mandi. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No.
Any questions, comments, or concerns? Lan nga jot a jàng ci li nga dégg? Awa Sow. Lan nga jot a jàng? Okay. Scan the camera around. Slim, what? I cannot hear you. Nekuma di dégg kuy wax de. If you are talking, I cannot hear you.
Mr. Joof, you said what? What's on?
So you are not concentrating, right?
I was. You called my name.
Yes, I said, what have you learned? And I said, no, Google.
Okay. Well, actually, I am not. But what I have learned is like the networking that Fatu Sama was talking about. I think I have learned a lot rather. And probably what happened between I and Figo won't happen again next time that I saw someone, so I can just go and approach that person and then got the person's number. Um, as far as I know that it's a youth related matter because I know Figo is a youth and that a lot of young people out there followed him as well. So even if it is not a youth related matter, I can still go to that person and then ask for the person's number. I always do that, but because it's at the Independence Stadium and I was there just to watch football and it was Ramadan at night and I was rushing to catch up with my brother to take me at home. Probably that was the reason. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm glad that you
Smile.
eventually. I'm glad that you. I'm glad that you eventually said, even if it is not a youth-related matter, because you never know when you will need the person, or when the person will have something related to youth. So it's not only youth that you are interested in, but different stakeholders have a stake in youth matters, and that's what it is. Next person, cameraman, show me around. Let me see who is there. I want to see folks, and I will randomly pick. Anybody who has a question, comment, or concern, you can go ahead. If not, cameraman, just keep scanning around. I'll ask people what I'll ask people. Anybody has a question on their own, question, comment, concern? Koto, Koto Dohalal,
Mr. Joof, I have a
Koto
question.
Dohalal. Go for it, Aminata.
Okay, for instance, like when the office arrange an interview for you and one guy, so you went there and the person is like they don't want to talk that thing talk anything about that particular thing because those people they have issue with anti-crime, probably antifa to arrange an interview so that we can go there and settle it. So when we went there, they are done to make an interview with us. But when one lady just come and she interrupt everything and started to say, you know, media, dañ dee bugga di jaxase nit ñi. So this thing you should not talk about in media. So we were just there and sit until 3. So I want to ask you about that thing.
I want your colleagues to respond to that. What do you think she should do? And I'm saying this because we've discussed this a couple of weeks ago. What should you do in that situation? Anybody wants to help answer it? Okay, Senabu. Senabu.
Yes, at that spot, they should have given a commentary telling the viewers that this is the situation that they found themselves. They came to know about what really happened, but it was very unfortunate that the victims do not want to talk. So they should give a commentary on what was happening or what they've seen.
Good one. Any other
Yes,
try?
at that juncture, what they can do is to report the matter as it is. Like they will just stand and then set the camera and start analyzing or saying the actual thing that transpired between them and the lady, and they conclude. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else want to do that? So Aminata, you guys
Yeah,
came back home. Aminata, you guys came back home empty-handed. Okay, go ahead, Jaja.
Mr. Joof, I want to try. They should have just improvise, analyze, and make commentary.
Good try. Anyone else?
Why do you want to force her to?
I have nothing to say.
Okay, now I'm answer to Mr. Yusuf.
So
Okay.
Aminata, you guys how much effort did you spend, or how much effort did you make to convince the people or try to get them to talk to you?
Yeah, we
Did the lady
convinced
just say that and you guys walked away?
No, the man name is Kiba, is Antifad who arranged the interview. So when we went there, is Ajibintu who was our boss there. So when we went there, and the boy was like, "My guys are not here. Let us wait for them. When they come, we will have the interview." And we were waiting till 3 p.m. And the lady just come and say, "Ha, man lima len buga wax moo ne isu bi ne len ko paak fele bu len si dugal affaire media parce que li media dañ dee mun a jaxase things yi." Waaw noonu la fa demee after ñu paak ñibbisi.
Yes. So you should use your skills, your convincing skills, your tactics, whatsoever, to get the person to talk to you. That Salima to use, and that's what I was looking for. All of you did well. Of course, you can do your review, your analysis, but then you needed to have improvise somewhat somehow. First, it's not okay that I order top straight and just report what happened. Yes, you can, but you guys could have sat there and probably have a panel discussion about it. Sometimes that convinces folks. If you are reporting the truth, especially involved in Dara and they don't want to, lolo muna lena convince. Bega to grant you an interview. I did it. Fatsamba did it. I remember watching the Independence this last year, this year Independence celebration at the Makati Square. Fatsamba was doing interviews, and one of the people, after trying to convince folks, one of the people who said they didn't want to be on camera. When Fatu said it's high time that our people start listening to us because I'm not low, I'm nice or something along those lines. Now, wow, nobody dañoo nekk di daw media bi lele. When she started talking, the guy didn't want to hear that. Problem ji bugut ko dega. She ended up granting he ended up granting her an interview. The same thing with myself. I told you guys about and tried to walk away from my interview. And I said, Gambia, yena ko gisandor. Ki mo elected sen rew bi. Ki mo buga pour ngeen jox ko mu nekk sen president. If Musa Bachiri cannot stand the heat of being interviewed pour mu convince people about his current life, what makes you think ki dina muna lead Gambia elect? He didn't like that comment. Mu ñëw toogaat jekkali interview bi. So sometimes the things you say and the tactics can convince the person to eventually talk to you because ñu ngi bugg a defend seen boppa because ñu ngi bugg a come and clear the air. Kenn bëggoon ñu dëkkal la foo dëkkut wala ñu laa daakentalee loo xam ne. So it's good for you to have your radar on and be able to assess the situation. But if push come to shove and you don't have this access or this opportunity, what you need to do is eventually do the reporting as all the other people do your reporting, your analysis, and what probably been a limo hell as I said to police said, bullshit yoka bullshit one. Make sense? So Amir Dabo, I know you probably were not here. We did a special topic on substitute or improvisation. I encourage you to watch that video because it will help you to actually get to understand some of these things. Your colleagues are able to respond to it because they were in that class. Next person.
Any question, comments, or concern?
Let's hear from you, Yusuf. Let's hear from you, Yusuf. Are you still writing? Loy binda wax ñu li nga binda.
Okay. Una cosa no Okay.
Go ahead, Yusufa.
Yes. So I want to ask you this question. Example, you arrange an interview, and the interviewer starting to you arrange an interview this time, and example like 6 p.m. Say then the interviewer starting making um saying I'm busy, this is what happened, this is what happened. So and then people, you already wrote everything on social media. You should have example, you should have Ramatullah Fai on your show, this and this and this, and then Ramatullah did not make it. So what should you do next?
Another question. Who wants to have this? Okay, go ahead.
You improvise. Best speaking, Mr. Joof, you improvise.
Okay, anybody else wants to try? Okay, base, good.
Yes, you substitute and improvise.
Yes. So I'm glad that you are holding the mic. I said to Koli, before you show it, hold the mic like that, Koli. Let me just profit and tell you guys. Tamadegis Nyenanyisian Nodol Balkono, you are doing this and you are holding the mic, hiding the tag, or you're turning like flag is, that's where you need to be. It needs to show that GTTV thing. It needs to be looking at the camera or pointing at the camera. As you see, I said to call it Nimko Ame. So I hope all of you know about this, right?
And they always forgot because normally
Quality, that's how.
looking at the interviews, most of them hold the mic like this instead of holding it like this down. This.
Yes.
And
That's
then
the next
you
thing
do
I was
your
going to say.
yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's
That's the
important.
next thing I was going to say. You have to hold the mic exactly as she's holding it, not too close to your mouth, and not also too down for your audio so much so that your audio will be low. So you put it exactly where Isato is holding it to a level that your flag is showing. It should not cover your face and you should not hold it up as she did earlier, but you should hold it straight. Talaho vinila waramel, you should make a fist. Talaho vinila waramel, uneka fi. Not here. If you do this, can you guys see my face?
Yes.
Yes, so you can see my hand. Can you see my mouth?
No.
This is wrong.
The mic should show, not like this, not like this. The whole house design, right? That's not a whole class, but it's very important that you know how to hold your mic. Even when you place your mic down, for those of you who go for press conferences and other events, you should hold your mic like that and not actually have it down. Make sense?
Yes.
Koto, let me hear from you. Let me hear from Koto.
Mr. Joof.
Yes, Koto.
No, man, awma comment so concern. Lu leen rek la am pour wax mooy lu ko bañee feeñ. Thank you. Desi dama am bës cause Andi Fadu daf may yóbbu ay place like press conference wala last time may dem ak ñoom Aida State House so loolu la am pour wax.
Well, Ambos is good, but Ambos with Amlum Andal, you must continue to prove yourself so that you will have the opportunity to go places. So doing research is very important and knowing the things that you need to do. So, but then a good number of you get obsessed with the buzz and you go more with that and think, okay, tai mako yo. Ba start lo sa di dugal piyong si ale jigeni.
No, Daisy dumay to bagay. Ñom ñoo ñëwal seen bopp.
That's the first next step. That's exactly what I was saying, right? You see, that's I hope neko the different guy. So we beat a man mala anja kabin the front page. So we beat a man mala anja kabin.
No, loolu am
Yes.
inshallah.
So so that's exactly what it is. They will come after you, but you need to be able to have discipline. Is there any welder man by Westfield?
Well done. Sure.
I want them to make me all the boys. You cannot let. You ngembalen cannot right? So we have to be very careful with what we do and say. But yes, thank you, Koto.
Thank you.
Bintu Singat, let me hear from you.
Mr. Joof.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Joof, concern. My concern is that I want to ask you something. Please, stop. I want to ask you something.
So Bintu, pause right there. You see what you are doing. Imagine, okay, Bintu, before you ask what you are doing with the mic, guests do that a lot. Then wara careful with the mic. And
Yeah,
even not you, when you have a guest, you should be able, I'm observing the guest holding the mic up, holding it down, doing this, doing that. The guests
yeah.
do those things a lot, and you need to be observant and tell them. Because once you have the interview, this time it might be the one off. You may never had the chance to interview the person again. Fatu said it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
person might be rushing to go home. They might be very busy, and it's only one opportunity you have. Now, there's nothing worse than you taking all the time in the world, then that interviewing us so much, and you come back, your audio is not good because you were not watching the guests. They're holding the mic like this, the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
minute away from their mouth. You need to make sure that the same way you hold the mic, if the guest is holding a mic, they hold it here and make sure that it is showing and their faces are not covered, their mouth is not covered, the mic is not
Okay.
facing the other way around. That's exactly what you were doing, Binto.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, the question I want to ask is like during the Nanbur day we went to some houses, and when we enter the houses, the moment we uh start to approach them about that we came there for the Nanbur day, before we finish they will cut us and say that we don't want it. It went to an extent that we went to one house, and before we start explaining everything, they said they do not want to be interviewed because they are they are not looking good, they are looking dirty. But then we explain it to them that we know that you are working, and the people that are looking that are watching you, they also know that you are working. And then we want to take a video of the Nanbu. They start shouting and say that déedéet bu leen ñu fi jël ñun ñu ngi ñun suñ fii mu ngi tilim, and we were very ashamed at that moment. So when with a situation like that, how do you should we proceed and start and approach them, or should we just go and leave them like that?
You always need to use your radar to assess the situation. I will continue to
Yeah.
say it when I teach you these principles. I will continue to remind you. Using your
Yeah.
radar, reading the situation, assessing the situation, determine what the best action is. Then you act on the
Mhm.
action, and then you review the situation at the end of the day and see where it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in this
Yeah.
case, you try to convince them. You
Mhm.
cannot force people to talk to you, But you should
Yeah,
use
yeah.
all your tactics to convince them as to why they must grant you the interview or why they need to grant you the interview. Try to educate
Yeah.
them. And if they don't agree, they
Okay.
don't agree. As usual, just stand outside and do your reviews, do your analysis. If it's a private home, you cannot stand in their house and do your analysis because guy join la permission to. They said no, they don't want to be shown. Expecting at how but can you live outside the house to the opposite side or on the other side for hamne? They don't have control over that. Mansala mbedo kang mbedi burbi nga
Mm-hmm.
wax li nga wax su ko defee jaamale ñooy but you should not force them and you should not go ahead to publish what they don't want to be seen because they are entitled to their privacy at the end of the day.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and also another question is that, and if you are to invite two people that are from different political parties, and is it necessary for you to let them know that you are inviting someone else who is not from the same party with the person?
Yes, you use your radar still. It
Yeah,
depends. I have done both. I have
yeah,
done both. I have
yeah,
done platforms too, and they were
yeah,
all informed and aware.
yeah.
I have also done platforms in which I invited people. Wahuma kene
Mhm.
kila fanyo. I've
Okay,
done both. So you can do both. There is no rule to say that you must notify them that this person is going to be there. Is it a good practice? Yes, it's a best practice that you can actually share that with them so that they be
okay.
prepared psychologically, emotionally, mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and be ready to do it, and physically and be ready to do it. But then them, you just use your radar to assess the situation and be able to determine what course of action
Mm-hmm.
to take that you will end up reviewing. And this
Okay.
brings us back to the issue of the radar.
Okay, Mr. Youth, ante nyanta kame invite am mole mi yalon ko ala diamo na kumo fo ya hani mala fi i mol ka je ba na kumo fo ite ya fo ite me i juso ka kamfale yela fi ka fenka cha ni ngani mo invite na mbesi la wala ni wo mari kan ta kamfani weke.
Well, they can come far. They need
Ha.
to. This is one of the things that I do. I
Yeah.
encourage Gambians and create the platform for our people to be able to act civilizedly.
Yeah. Okay.
Should you moderate the show?
Mhm.
Yes. You don't allow people to use derogatory language,
Yeah.
foul language, insults. Bukat bamal tindi
Okay,
kan
okay.
nender balke pour ñu ñëw fofu saga di yuku di
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can encourage them to be civil.
Yeah.
You can give a responsibility to moderate the show and moderate it the right way. And if anybody is not acting right, you can
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
check them out. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Comme ate ala abukan nendiro ke bari kuma balle babulo kono me alon ko na ya fo dawda. Okay. Okay. I'm done.
You cannot have bigger words than Henry Gomez and his definition. Sipa sipa. Okay, next person. Cameraman, scan around. Okay, let me get what's her name? The nurse. Our nurse, yes, Miss Anne. Let's hear from her.
Okay, I have learned that a journalist should be down to earth, and also a journalist should be able to build a very good relationship with people. I'm done.
Yes, because you are there for the people. You are the voice of the people. You must understand that you are the voice of the people and do everything possible to make sure that you take care of people's needs by getting facts and gathering facts from experts and people who have information, who are custodian of information, and exactly as it is put to you. Put your wine. Next person. Next person. Okay. Okay, let's go on line. Yeah, but you are in the class, even though that is right, but you are in the class. You are in the class, am I right?
I have, um, Mr. Joof, I have learned that let me regulate first. Mr. Joof, I have learned that when you go to an interview and the guest is not ready to do an interview with you, you should get back to the public and give them the give commentary about what happened to that interview. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you all said something? Memuna Jaju, let me hear from you one more time. And please don't go to Google. Don't go to Google. I cannot hear it. Nekumari Dega all of a sudden. Okay, I can hear now.
Maimuna or me?
Memuna Jaju.
Just stand there.
Mr. Joof nga ne?
Yes.
To avoid your movement, please. Memuna, you are very distracted today.
Waaye Aïssatou Diallo lifin buñ sutoon sa project bi video bi. Dégul ma.
Okay. So what have you learned? I want your takeaway message. I want your takeaway message from the class. What is your takeaway message?
I've learned that as a journalist, you have to be skillful in every situation you see yourself. The issue of shyness, to the extent of do muna def sa liggéey, as a journalist, you shouldn't be doing that.
Okay. The person there that hasn't spoken or said something?
Salimatu Diallo.
You already spoke. Nobody seems to have spoken. Everyone seems to have spoken.
Yes, but they tell me to speak for the second time.
And you do it because they
Mr.
say it?
Joof. Yes, you know they enjoy me when I'm speaking to you.
Okay, go
Mr. Joof,
ahead then.
as a journalist, you
Go ahead,
should
Maimuna.
always not Maimuna, it's Salimatu. Jaja.
Okay, you should always do what?
You should always swallow your pride and go in for what you want. Mr. Joof, I want to say something.
Go ahead. Fine.
Can I say something?
Okay. Thank you very much.
About
Okay,
the
go ahead.
issue
We are
of
almost done, but go ahead.
contacts. About the issue of contacts, some of us as journalists, we come to the office and we sit. We don't have connection. We don't have no program. That's not part of contacts. As a good journalist or as a great journalist, being part of somebody that is connected is somebody that, like, let's say politicians like General Lamin Bojan. It's been almost, I think, 3 or 6 months. People did not hear him, did not see him. A good journalist should pick up his phone or her phone and say, "Hey, General, say it last neka." You never know. Maybe he's having plan. By the time you know it, he already have a new party. The likes of Sidinjai. Now it's been a minute. People did not hear much from Sidinjai. You call him, you say, Asidi, am desi kudekabe. Some of us, we sit here whole day, we don't have no story. As a journalist, you look at something that is happening, and you, let's say, right now about the issue of crime is too much in the country. You call the minister of what is it called, interior. Maybe you say, Honorable, we didn't hear any message from you. The general public are asking, and you go there, you have an interview, or you go to anti-crime, you look for anti-crime, their boss, you interview the person, or you go to black market, you ask the people how do they see the issue of the crime and how people are treating other people that they hold. So those are all part of connection. Let's say right now the death rate is it's too much, especially when it comes to women that are delivering. You go and ask women that are pregnant. You ask them, are they fearful? Are they afraid? What do they think about the health sector? You also go and you ask also the Minister of Health, what are their plans? So it doesn't mean that if you don't have the high people up there, you cannot have anybody. You can also ask civil society about the issue of what is happening right now. What is civil society doing towards it? So those are all part of connection or networking.
Thank you, Fatu. Any questions, comments?
No, Mr. Ju.
Any questions or comments? Everyone. Thank you, everyone. Till next week, Friday, inshallah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Whose video is that?